You're walking along the road with your pal. It's a lovely day, and you say, oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. That's not funny. You are walking along on a cold, frosty night, you slip in a frozen puddle, you fall on your arse, your pal laughs. Because it's funny. It's not funny for you, you've got a sore bum. Now, I want you to imagine a lovely, warm summer's night a few years ago, and I'd just been working in the garden, and I came in, and I let the wee cats out, just before I sat down to telly, let the wee cats out for their wee evening stroll before I put them to bed. And I came in, and I was wearing a very outrageous garment that night. I'll tell you what it was. It was a fluffy dressing gown, that kind of teddy bear stuff that the Waynes have, you know. And the difference with this dressing gown was it had legs in it. Fluffy legs, you see. I got it out of the Sago magazine. Some of you may be familiar with that. And it was advertised in the Sago radio, you see. And the thing that attracted me to it was because they had it had fluffy booties to go with it. It was like an adult baby grow. Do you know the kind of thing? It was lovely. Well, it wasn't. It was hellish, but if you live yourself, it doesn't matter, you know. So anyway, I sat down to watch the telly, and I took my makeup off, slapped the night cream on, been slapping it on for years, hasn't made bugger all difference. And I was sitting at a cup of hot chocolate, a bar of fruit and nut. Could life hold more? And the video, the Titanic, you know. Now, this is not everybody's idea of a lot of laughs, but it suits me. Oh, and then, of course, I remembered that the wee cats were still out. So I went to the door, I opened it, I stuck my head out, and I shouted, "Pussy!" Doesn't everyone? There was a man walking past, and he looked at me and he ran away, you see. Now, the wee black and white cat came in, you see. The wee ginger cat wasn't there. Wee Rosie, the ginger cat, I was up and down that street with fluffy the boots. She's not, excuse me, have you seen my cat? Oh, have you seen my cat? Hadn't he? And this wee boy was watching me. He was a wee munchkin, Fickle Munn Street. Have you looked at cat, Mrs.? I said, yes, I have. I said, and there's a goodly reward for anyone who finds her. He was going to take advantage of my distress. You could see it in his eyes from Kilmun Street, you know. How much is the goodly reward, Mrs.? I said, 15, 20 quid. Mrs., I could get you 3 cats for that. Now, the cat was missing for days. And every day after school, this wee boy would come to my door with his pals, with a dirty old moggy, you know. And he said, is this your cat, Mrs.? I said, no, but there's £1 for trying, son. Next day he'd come, big old flea bag. He says, is this your cat, Mrs.? No, I said, but there's £1 for trying. This boy was making a fortune out of second-hand cats. Then, one night, there was a definite sighting. And the wee boy said, come on, it's in, what was the name of the street? Campsie Court. It was a woman's garden in Campsie Court. And they ran, and I ran after them. And they went up a tree to point out where the cat was. I knocked a woman's door. She wasn't in. So there was a wee hole in the fence, and I crept through the fence. You see? Pink Panther style. And then suddenly, there was a shadow came over the sun. And I looked up, and it was the lady of the house. She's looking down. This woman had a chin like a sink, you know. She was a Desperate Dan lookalike. This woman had been to the bingo and hadn't won the snowball, you know. Wally, send for the police. There's a Teletubby poking about with pansies. The wee man came out, you know, I thought he was a garden gnome, he hadn't put his teeth in. I'll tell you, she wouldn't have come home to him with a broken pie. I said, excuse me. Yes. I said, my cat was sighted in your garden. No, in my garden it wasn't, because this is a cat-free zone. Ever since I put down the pellets. If you're looking for cats, away down to the middens behind Primrose Gardens. It's hoaching with him. I said, oh, thank you very much. She says, right, you. No, get to... I said, I beg your pardon. She says, get to... So I got to. Now, I don't recommend an evening out in the middings behind Primrose Gardens. Of a summer evening, they're minging. And there I was, star of stage, screen, and Scottish Slimmers. I need to go back to them. Raking about the shuck and the shite. Shouting, pussy! Now, then I suddenly heard... It was more sudden than that, actually. And I thought, my God, think of the publicity. No, just at that moment, there was this guy, poked his head out of a window in one of the tenements, and he had on a day-glow purple dressing gown. Handsome, handsome man. He said, Dorothy, if you don't want to get picked up with the fuzz, you'd better get in here right away. This man was a complete stranger, and I went into his house. He says, am I right? Or am I right, or am I wrong? Is it you, or is it no you? If it's no you, it's hell of a like you. I was just up the stairs there, dusting, doing a tall boy. And I says to Frank, I says, Frank, you'll never guess who's writing about our middens. I mean, I didn't recognise you at first, because I'm used to seeing you all kind of nice and zishied up, you know. Did you make that garment yourself, Dorothy? Ah, no, it looks as though you have it. Doesn't it suit you? The colour washes you, hen. Frank, that's a fiver you owe me. It is, huh? So, Dorothy, what are you doing in Kansas? So, I explained everything about the cats. And, of course, we sat down over hot buttered muffins and a cup of tea. It was lovely. And then we were talking about cats. And then we went on to a wee concert. We had a wee sing-song. Well, my new friend Arthur, you should have heard his Judy Garland. I was born in a trunk in the Princess Theatre in Pocatello, Idaho. Oh, it was marvellous. It was wonderful. And of course, Frank, he did that. Oh, what was that singer that I like? Oh, Barbara Streisand. With just one look at you. God, he had me greeting. I was greeting. Well, I didn't leave their house till 12 o'clock. And it was pitch dark, and I went up the road. And anyway, there was this... my halogen light wasn't working. I tripped. Well, I came down like a ton of bricks, and I'm telling you, my knee was all skint, my elbow was skint. What had I tripped over? Bloody Rosie, the ginger cat.